Hi people, it's me Anja, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for part 2 of my favorite Black Sapphic books in honor of Black History Month. The first book on this list is called Bad Things Happen Here. This story is a YA thriller set in a town with a history of unsolved deaths, and it follows a young main character who is plus-size, queer, and Black, who is desperate to uncover this mystery. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so excellent. I really enjoyed it, and I don't typically enjoy thrillers, but this book was absolutely so good. The writing was so pretty and so lyrical. The plot was so intriguing and so interesting. And I was absolutely so invested in the mystery. The sister relationship as well as the family dynamics felt so wonderful and so well done. The Sapphic romance was so well paced and absolutely so cute, and I loved their chemistry and their connection so much. This book is absolutely so underrated and it deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so good. I love this author so much. So anyway, with all that to say, I would definitely recommend this book. The next book on this list is called We Deserve Monuments. This story is a YA contemporary following a young Black pansexual main character as she is navigating family secrets, a new romance, and a mystery. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so emotional and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. First of all, the writing was so lyrical and absolutely so pretty. The mystery was so interesting and absolutely so intriguing. I loved that this story talked about intergenerational trauma and racism within a town's history and a family. You know what I mean? I don't know if that made any sense at all, but basically this story was so good. The family dynamics were so awesome and so fantastic. The Sapphic romance was so well paced and absolutely so cute. All of the friendships were so wonderful. All of the characters were so well developed and so distinct. Again, like I mentioned, this story deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with all of that said, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Sevenfold Hunters. This story is a YA science fiction story following two main characters. One of them is Black and bisexual, and the other one is Somalian, as they try to investigate what the aliens really want from them, because it's set at a boarding school where they learn how to fight and hunt aliens. So basically, this story is so well done, and I really enjoyed it. First of all of the different science fiction alien elements were so well developed and so easy to understand. I've talked about before how science fiction typically confuses me, but in this story, everything made sense, which I really appreciated, and it made the world building so much more intriguing and more immersive and inventive. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I love the found family aspect so much, and also like so many of the characters were queer. The representation was literally so well done and so awesome. The Sapphic romance was so lovely, as well as the straight romance and the other main character. Literally, this book is so good. I love the friendships. I love literally everything about it. Like, this book is so good and it's so underrated. So anyway, with all of that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Nothing Burns as Bright as You. This story is a YA contemporary following a young Black Sapphic main character as she is navigating grief, love, and the complexities of female friendships. This story is absolutely so fantastic and so good. First of all, the writing was so lyrical and absolutely so pretty. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. Like, the queer representation was so lovely and absolutely so wonderful. All of the characters felt so authentic and literally so distinct. Like, the friendships and the romance felt so wonderful and so well done. This book is literally so underrated. I mean, all the books on this list are, but this book is so special because it's so well done and it's so well paced. I remember feeling so connected and so invested emotionally in the story as well as to the characters because they felt so authentic and so real. You know what I mean? I don't know if that made any sense at all. But anyway, I digress. This story is so good and it's absolutely so fantastic. So with all of that said, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Burn Down, Rise Up. This story is a YA horror thriller that follows a young Black Sapphic main character who has been investigating these mysterious disappearances that have been happening in the Bronx for the past year because her mom's mysterious illness might be related. And the whole like disappearance stuff people think is related to an urban legend. And this book is advertised as like Get Out meets Stranger Things. And I think this book is absolutely so good and so intriguing. First of all, the world building was so inventive and absolutely so interesting. The plot was so engaging. The Sapphic romance was so well paced, so well developed. It's like childhood best friends to lovers, kind of, if you like that trope. The friendships, by the way, were so lovely and so wonderful. Literally, this book is so good. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I think this book deserves so much more hype, and I'm absolutely so excited for this author's next book, which I believe comes out in May, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, this book is so fantastic and so awesome. So with all that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called In the Key of Us. This story is a middle-grade contemporary following two main characters as they bond at a music camp over music, love, and grief. And I also loved the conversations about mental health too. This story is absolutely so fantastic and so underrated. First of all, the two character perspectives were so good because the two characters themselves were both so well developed and so distinct. And I love their connection and chemistry so much. Their friendships felt so natural and so well done. And the romance was so well paced and absolutely so adorable. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. And the setting felt so atmospheric and so well done. This book is absolutely so good. And I'm so excited for the author's next book, which I believe is called Forever Is Now. And it comes out in May, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, this book was so good and was absolutely so amazing, so fantastic, and so lyrical, and absolutely so underrated, which I know I say all the time, so that word has probably lost its meaning. But anyway, I digress. The point is, this book is absolutely so good and so well paced. So with all that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Every Variable of Us. This story is a YA contemporary following a young Black bisexual main character who's trying to avoid becoming another Black teenager trapped in poverty. And it was one of my favorites of 2021 because it was absolutely so good and so emotional. And I loved how the author talked about the dichotomy of the Black queer experience because literally he did it so well. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The Sapphic romance was so well done, so well paced, and absolutely so cute. And their connection and chemistry literally made so much sense. The friendships were so lovely and so wonderful because the group dynamic literally was so wholesome and so well done. This book is absolutely so good, so emotional, so well paced, and so well developed. And literally every single element. This book is so underrated, and I will gladly read whatever the author has next because this book was so good. I had really low expectations before going into it because I had no idea what to expect, but this book was so amazing. So anyway, with all that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Rise to the Sun. This story is a YA contemporary following two Black queer main characters over a 3-day music festival, and it was absolutely so good and so fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed it. I know I've said in the past that I typically don't like stories set over a short amount of time because typically, like, the character development as well as like the romance seems very rushed, but in this story, like, it wasn't like that at all. I was so connected emotionally to the main characters so well because they were each so distinct and well developed, and their romantic chemistry felt so natural and so well done. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging, and I just really, really enjoyed this book. And you already know that I'm so excited for the author's next middle grade debut because I talked about it in my last video. Ellie Engel saves herself. But anyway, this story was so good and absolutely so awesome. Like I said before, the characters were so well developed and so distinct, and I just really, really enjoyed the story overall. So with all that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. So in conclusion, since it's been over a year since I've made a video like this, that means two things. First of all, Black Sapphic voices are very underrepresented in the industry, and second of all, I need to diversify my bookshelf too. So I hope that this video helped diversify your bookshelf. And if you have any more Black Sapphic recommendations, preferably written by queer or and Black authors, let me know in the comments below. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the pineapple emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!